Welcome to part 31 of Dynasty Warriors 9. In this episode, we start chapter 11, which is the definition of insanity. We might as well just say it, because Zhuge Liang and eventually Jiang Wei would start series of battles with Wei known as the Northern Campaign. And in those battles, they're trying to push from Hanzhong and try to make it into Zhuchang without any repercussions. The problem? Neither one of these two are good at plans, and the worst possible scenarios tend to happen, and they lose good men along the way, along with valuable resources and a lot of other stuff. And they repeatedly do this, hoping to get some good results. This is why I call it the definition of insanity, because they keep doing this and keep doing this until finally they're screwed. And this is what happened to Liu Shan's kingdom. So let's begin chapter 11, shall we?
In Shu, after the death of Liu Bei, his son Liu Chan becomes emperor. Zhuge Liang and the other ministers support him and make plans to restore the country to its former strength. After repelling the Wei invasion, they also succeed in conquering the troublesome Nanzhong tribe. Elsewhere, Wu successfully repels the Shu attack on Elam. When Zhuge Liang once more proposes an alliance, they accept. All of this was simply to oppose Wei, who continued to seek to conquer the empire. While all this had been happening, Wei had focused their efforts on domestic affairs and increased their in order to be ready for the upcoming showdown with Wu and Shu.
This concludes my summary of the overall status of our territory at the present time. Next, I will report on the movements of Wei.
To be honest, Zhuge Liang, I feel tired just listening to you. Will you allow me to rest a while first?
Forgive me, my lord. I should have been more attentive.
Zhuge Liang, you should rest a little as well. You are monitoring all domestic activity yourself, on top of which you seem to be making preparations for your northern campaign. If you continue to push yourself so hard, you will fall ill.
I appreciate your concern, my lord. In order to ensure the success of the northern campaign, however, it is imperative that I eliminate all potential sources of trouble. For that reason, I cannot afford to neglect my duties of domestic government.
Your diligence is truly appreciated, but if you do fall ill, the northern campaign cannot happen. It is well beyond my capabilities. If only there was someone who could act as a worthy lieutenant to you.
Ma Su is currently acting as my deputy. He is a smart man who understands the way I think. We can expect big things from him during the northern campaign.
You serious?
I see. If you are satisfied, then I'm sure everything will be fine.
We are beginning our preparations for the northern campaign. I may spend some time away from the court, but all measures have been put in place. There is no need for any concern. I will soon have good news to report.
Zhuge Liang, is it really necessary for you to work so hard yourself? I would prefer you left the preparations to others and rested for a while.
No, my lord. I cannot do that. Battles are often won and lost before the army set foot on the battlefield. I must work closely with everyone else.
I see. With everyone else. Then you must allow me to help out as well. I will get bored just waiting here after all.
My lord, that is far too dangerous.
You must come too, Xingzai. Staying here and keeping an eye on me is hardly very stimulating, I'm sure. Will that be acceptable, Zhuge Liang?
I am moved by your thoughtfulness, my lord. I would be most honored if you would help us too.
Thoughtfulness? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but... Anyway, Zhuge Liang, I am yours to use as you see fit.
Ah yes, Ma Su. One of the contributing factors to the Northern Campaign's failure, as you will see in part 31, because what we're practically doing is taking my stupid looking horse and going straight to the next area and beginning the preparations for the Northern Campaign. Now, here's the problem. Despite all these preparations, the Northern Campaign, as history pretty much has already dictated, is going to be an epic failure. Even more so, Ma Su would be the cause of such epic failures. Honestly, I could just go to the next city, it doesn't really matter. But what I plan on doing is going to get a different horse, and that'll probably be a little bit later on in the part, because I don't see the stable anywhere. But for right now, we're just going to go on ahead and stick with this horse, because I was going to show off Hyperion, and I will by the end of the part. And let's just be honest with you, if you thought Brynhilder looked stupid, oh god, wait till you see Hyperion. But we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to use the Jubilation Spear. Okay, Jubilation Spears that aren't the one with the dragon. Now, the one I had was pretty damn cool. And due to the fact that it's also Zhao Yun's weapon, and Ma Chao's weapon as well, they can actually use it and get a Musou bonus off of it. The weapon I have is the Spear Launcher, which is the new weapon that is held by Man Chong, if I'm not mistaken, in Guo Huai. And I think one other person. And they will get a bonus off of that. Well, they'll be able to use Musou off of that, but everybody else will use their regular Musous with their favorite weapon. You have to see the Jubilation Spear to believe it. Needless to say. But nonetheless, we are here at the castle, and we are about to get started with all of these important tasks. So, all we need to do is get 2 tasks done, and we are going to be fine. Knowing me, I'm going to complete all of them. So on that note, we'll start with the first one, which is persuading Gongsun Yuan's rebellion. By the way, Zhuge Liang had nothing to do with Gongsun Yuan rebelling. He just rebelled because he figured that nobody's going to need him anymore, and more importantly, he figured out one day Cao Pi was going to take his land, so he just rebelled. That rebellion was just squashed. Easily. But, with that said, we're still going to have to go to the area to try to persuade Gongsun Yuan to rebel. This is basically a fetch quest, in case you're wondering. Get used to seeing them, because they're going to be everywhere. And oh yeah, by the way, in case you're wondering about that skip, that's because of the fact that I had no idea that the recording ended, and I had to just restart it and also get my controller plugged in. But bear witness to the Jubilation Spear, because we are literally fighting with party streamers. No, I am not kidding. We're fighting with party streamers, folks. You're going to bear witness to most of the Jubilation weapons, because they are too ridiculous to describe. I'm pretty sure the fan was like DLC, but the spear and the dragon spear, that was actually updates. You have to bear witness to the fan, and also bear witness to this. Well, actually, just bear witness to the Jubilation Spear, and let's be honest, folks. I never would expect party streamers as a goddamn weapon. Where's the whole entirety of seriousness there, Koei? But nonetheless, we're talking with Zhao Yun, who should be dead in this part, or should I say in this chapter, but his death will come after Tian Shui. But yeah, this basically should be Zhao Yun's last battle. It's Ma Chao's last battle, most definitely, because in this chapter, Ma Chao just drops dead for some reason, even though he actually died before the Battle of Yiling. But without a doubt, I'm going to be running all the way to a different area right before I actually go. Okay, I'm going to be running over to this place first to get some tea, and then we're going to go all the way to a different area, which we're probably going to have to use the teleport, or should I say the fast travel. That's what I meant to say. And yeah, that is a long errand, but let's be honest, folks. It's a fetch quest. What do you expect? Everything is going to be long, and everything is going to be egregious. So on that note, we are going to hop on our horse, or should I say, use the fast travel to get there. That'll make things a lot easier on us. Now, all we need to do is find the peasant and give him the tea, and that's it. This should be an easy mission, no problem. Now, I think we should turn around because the GPS is forcing me to go the different direction. And I hate when this GPS does this. Instead of going to the guy who has the damn marker over him, you go straight to the different direction every time. But that's okay. That's okay. We gave him the tea, and now we can just go back and talk to Zhao Yun, and that will pretty much take care of the first mission. And once we get rid of the first mission, the others will fall in line. Now, the rest of them aren't going to be that hard. I mean, I am only at level 53 or something, or 51. I think I'm at level 51. Hold on. Let me see for a second. There are going to have high-level missions, though, by the time we get to Chapter 13. Like, in the 80s, actually. No, I'm at level 53, actually. Ugh. I thought it was at 51. I'm at 53. But yeah, by the end of the game, they're going to have high-level missions at level 80. And yeah, you might want to be at a very high level in order to take those on. But then again, by the end of the game, you may end up inadvertently causing yourself to surrender. I guess. Alright. Now that we got persuading Dongzeng Yuan done, we're going to go on ahead and get the next one.
Exhausted.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, we're supposed to get... Oh, we need to build the plank bridge. That's what it is. Now, the plank bridge is supposed to make things easier to attack. Primarily, it's a siege tower. That's what it is. But the plank bridge, you're gonna need wood. And ironically enough, there's a failure requirement to where if anything happens to Guan Yingping or Yue Ying, that they both will end up, no, that you both will fail a mission, basically. Whatever the case. Oh no, it's Xing Sai, sorry, not Yue Ying, sorry, it's Xing Sai that we're actually doing this with. I had to actually think about this for a second, but then again, normally most of the engineering stuff is with Yue Ying. Now, what we're doing is beating up bandits. We're practically going to beat up bandits and steal logs from them. That's basically what we're doing.
Bandits are living here.
Don't be surprised, folks.
I cannot allow such
There will be several times where the Shu forces will look more like bandits than the actual bandits in this game. If the Northern Campaign is anything to go by, at least. But nonetheless, folks, we just need to beat up the rest of these bandits. And they're going to try to hold us off, but they're not going to be able to do it. Because these party streamers, they are so goddamn effective. And more importantly, I do believe they do chip damage too. Yes, you can see the fireworks and confetti. It's just ridiculous. And Koei wanted to try to put clone weapons in for realism. Well, there's the first base. Now all we need to do is go to the second base, and we will end up getting the lumber that we need for this. And the second base isn't too far off. I mean, we have to go around the mountain because the mountain is too damn steep to climb, but this next base isn't too far off. Yeah, so much for open world. We have a goddamn steep mountain that we can't even climb, that we have to take roads to go around. Like a linear pathway. But nonetheless, all we need to do is just head to this area right here and beat up the bandits there. Alright. These bandits aren't... all these bandits aren't going to be a problem. Yeah, they may be strong because of the level of the mission, but they're not going to be a problem. It's the bandits outside of the mission that's going to be a problem. And those guys are normally going to be between level 58 and 60 right about now. Oh no, should I say 58 and 66. So bear that in mind if you're going to try to pursue any optional bandits. Or optional anything. They're going to be way too tough. Excuse me one second, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, I had to, well, take my inhaler because I was getting, an asthma attack. But that's not the point. Point of the matter is, if you see the insanity that is this, well, party streamer basically, then you realize, why did they even remotely go to clone weapons for realism if they're going to do things like this, or with the dragon spear in the last part? The point is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to do realism, do realism. If you're going to go to, like, over the top and imaginary, do over the top and imaginary. Don't just mix the two. We'll go one way and then all of a sudden do something else that completely goes against the route of what you were trying to do. Which is probably why, it's the main reason why I didn't buy Dead or Alive 6, because that's exactly what they did. They said they were going to keep the fan service, and then they were going to take away the fan service, and they were going to do this, they were going to do that, and then they ended up overcharging the game about $1,000 for their stuff. Primarily speaking, Koei is only trying to feed into, well, the fan base, and they can't keep doing this.
Lord Liu Chang, your bravery served.
However, what we did was manage to get the lumber what we need, and also the two missions we need as well. We're gonna get all of them. So what we're gonna do is go to the next mission, which is to persuade the Western Chang tribes to join us. So that means we have to defeat Guo Huai. Now here's the thing. You can actually skip Guo Huai and talk to the Zhang tribe, and the Zhang tribe will not actually join us. You'll end up having to defeat them anyway. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You're not going to fail this mission at all. Plain and simple. Although, the only thing it'll do is just make the Zhang tribes interfere with your work. And by the way, this works both ways with, Wei. So on that note... Oh, sorry, my microphone was almost falling off there. I'm going to need a new microphone stand. Or at least an actual microphone stand instead of holding my mic. Anyway...
We must.
All you need to do is just beat Guo Huai and Xiao Ba. And once you do, the Zhang tribes will join you in your fight for benevolence. For all what good they'll do, because after all, the Zhang tribes will easily get quelled in, I do believe, the third or fourth time that Jiang Wei tries to... No, actually it's the second time Jiang Wei tries to attack Wei.
We have been overcome.
Oh, and that guy. Wait till we get to him. He's a piece of work.
Looks like I'll have to reschedule that.
I'm pretty sure you all know how maniacal he is in Dynasty Warriors 7. How he was crazy and trying to attain benevolence no matter what. But oh boy, once we get Jiang Wei, it all goes downhill from there. But we only got one more mission left, and after that, we're going to go on ahead and start the, well, northern campaign in the next part. But right now, we're going to talk to King Midong.
I am Midan.
The funny part is, while King Midong will send his Zhang troops to cause a little bit of a ruckus, they'll end up getting routed and switching sides eventually, which will suck.
I must admit that I did.
Anyway,
To see which side was more worthy of our service, I will make up.
we are now going to also have to mention another thing. There are characters, again, who probably will not make it until, who will not actually make it by the end of this chapter in their story. Yue Ying being one of them. Now, here's the thing. There are going to be some characters that's going to show up at the final battle of the game. Again, that would be Yue Ying. But also that would be some of the, some of Guan Yu's children who hasn't been, killed off in the chapter preceding. So keep an eye out for that. I'm just letting you know in this part. And speaking of things that needs to be kept an eye on, I was supposed to teleport, or should I say fast travel. Might as well just say teleport, but still, I was supposed to fast travel to near Yue Ying, right? They put me right near the objective before I have to start the objective. It's stupid. It's beyond stupid, but I'm going to end up having to come all the way back here just to get that done. Even though I've already discovered the palace that just so happens to be there. If Koei weren't so hell-bent on trying to... Oh yeah, I was contemplating on whether to use fast travel or not. But as I was saying, if Koei wasn't so hell-bent on being confused on either being over the top or being realistic, maybe, just maybe, they'd work on the actual game and its physics and it would actually get a good reception as opposed to a meh reception. Or somewhat of a worth it. Because in a way, since it does things that actually makes this game easier than the other games. Like you can pick and choose where you need to go and it'll make the battle a lot easier. But at the exact same time, Dynasty Warriors was way over ambitious with this. And honestly, we really need Koei to stop with the whole realism bullcrap. They're not going to do it in Samurai Warriors 5 because it's going to be coming out in the next 2 months. Or should I say 3 months. since it's coming out in July. But it'll only be a matter of time before they attempt to do realism and the game actually crashes and fails. They honest to God need to stop doing that. And as a matter of fact, many games need to stop to try to bring realism into the games, because it's bad enough video games also kind of take away some imagination. I mean, sometimes we want to have an imagination for ourselves, but then again, when people start throwing in realism, it just throws the fun out of the window. And they sacrifice that for, well, quality of gameplay. But nonetheless, I had to get that tyrant off because, let's be honest, somebody needs to get the tirade off, and a lot of people have. Higher subscribers than I do, I can most honestly say, but a lot of people have made that tirade. And now that I'm done with the tirade, we're here with the mission, and all we need to do is just collect the ore from Yue Ying. Now, remember that part we just got finished being teleported to? Or should I say, fast travel to? That's where the ore is, but I had to come here to activate that quest. Yeah, it's rather freaking stupid. And I know I just repeated myself, but still, I can't stress enough how stupid it is. And more importantly, I have lost control of my horse. Thank you, Koei. But we're not going to be going all the way out there. We're going to try to teleport back over there, since it'll now be able to be open, and now it's a good time for us to do that. So all we're practically doing is just beating up all the enemy officers and troops that are in the vicinity, and they have ore, and that's what we want. Now,
the Shu forces are attacking. Over here.
All you practically have to do is take care of all the troops in the area. That's it. And another thing noted about this, the Jubilee Spears, or Jubilation Spears, I should say. They have a maneuver, that one sparkling move that Liu Shan just got finished doing, that breaks the guard of enemy and does chip damage. And, okay, let me try that again because I just went there and stuttered. Sorry about that. I meant to say it breaks the enemy guards and it does chip damage. And more importantly, it will actually compound onto the chain. For all it's worth, these weapons are pretty good, if not stupid looking. But it's still pretty good. But nonetheless, the party streamers are going to be a decent weapon at best for somebody else who doesn't have a Musou. But for everybody who has the Musou... Oh wait, did I get the ore? Yeah, I think I did. But for everybody else who has the Musou, just simply, use it, and you'll just see yourself throwing confetti everywhere and also throwing sparkles and explosions everywhere. It's ridiculous. And then you add an element to this thing, which I have. And you'll probably be seeing that in the later parts. But for right now, the only thing that's left is to talk to Yue Ying. So let's go over what happened so far. With the ore that we gave to Yue Ying, or about to give to Yue Ying, she's going to make siege weapons that'll siege the final area, which would be Tianshui. Sorry about that. Guan Yingping, that's what I meant to say, and Xingsai, and by the way, you just saw that wall appear. Guan Yingping and Xingsai will end up making a plank bridge to sneak into the enemy's camp in Qingsong. And then Mi Dong and his troops will show up in the middle of battle. And lastly, Gong Sun Yuan will cause half of the troops that Sima Yi would have to show up there because they're quickly dealing with Gong Sun Yuan. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on ahead and talk to Zhuge Liang. Now, this is not only a mission for everybody that's still alive at this point. Zhuge Liang also has to do this too.
It would appear that the development of
And
is proceeding smoothly.
it would be a lot longer for him than what it will be for everyone else. And believe it or not, if you're playing as a person who's this mission's for, they'll replace it with a generic officer or somebody else. So on that note, everything should be fine, and we should begin the Northern Campaign, aka the definition of insanity. However, there's two major battles in the Northern... Actually, no. All the battles in the Northern Campaign will be condensed into the next part. Split between two parts, basically. So, or many parts, actually.
I must apologize, my lord, for leaving everything up to you.
There is no need to apologize. Like you, I bear the burden of carrying on the dream of a land of virtue and benevolence. I am glad that you let me do this much.
It must have been tremendously difficult to have done so much by yourself. But now we can prepare for the Northern Campaign without any concerns.
Zhuge Liang, you know, there will be no going back now.
That's right. All we can do is continue along the path we have chosen and conquer Wei. For the sake of the grand ambition of Master Liu Bei, and for those who have sacrificed their lives for that cause, we must claim victory and build a land of virtue and benevolence.
My lord, may I ask you a question? In preparation for the Northern Campaign, we've not only addressed all domestic concerns, but we've even made contact with Gongsun Yuan in Liaodong. I must say that our movements have been far from subtle. Wei is almost certain to realize we are up to something. Why have you elected to pursue an approach which will draw the enemy's attention?
When we took Hanzhong from Wei, we made use of the element of surprise. Since then, however, Wei has constantly had one eye on movements here in Shu. In which case, there is no point in trying to obfuscate. It is better that we make sure our preparations are perfect instead. I simply decided that it would be more effective to eliminate any potential for failure and ensure the highest possibility of success.
My lord, if you will please forgive my impertinence. You've always prepared immaculately for every undertaking, but recently it seems to me that your preparations are perhaps excessively cautious. I fear that kind of boldness you once showed when you jumped into the fray against Wu at Shibi has been lost.
The Wei commander is Sima Yi. He is the kind of man against whom no battle will go smoothly. We were able to claim victory during the invasion on 5 fronts because he did not yet have complete control over his army at the time. However, things have changed now. It is imperative that we prepare thoroughly and leave nothing to chance.
I cannot help but feel that there's something that you're not telling me. I am your wife, my lord. I can sense these things. My lord, you're not...
You are an intelligent woman, Yue Ying. I believe you understand my true intent. But I would prefer that we end this conversation here. I do not want my personal matters to affect the land in any way. Please.
Alright, folks. Now it's time for us to, well, let's go on ahead and walk out because the game is loading up a next cutscene, and it's gonna take a while. This actually happens to a lot of characters in this game, and QA definitely should have fixed this, especially the rendering too. So I'ma ride my stupid little horse, or stupid looking horse, sorry, and ride off into the sunrise.
And that is all that I, Zhuge Liang, desired to say before advancing our campaign north.
Master Zhao Yun.
Forgive me. Master Zhuge Liang's words made me remember days long past.
That's right. You, Father, and everyone fought together. Long before I was even aware of anything that was going on.
That's incredible! You wandered, and you fought. As a result, you were able to establish Shu.
Liu Bei! I, Liu Bei, will your dream fulfill!
I would like to thank each and every one of you. I also would like to fulfill my father's dream. However, is there no path that does not involve fighting?
But if there is an enemy, shouldn't we defeat them?
The chaos has lasted too long. Let us end it once and for all. Let us defeat Zhao Wei!
Defeat Zhao Wei!
I do understand how you all feel. I pray for your success in this battle.
Master Liu Bei, we are on our way.
And with that said, the northern campaign will start as soon as we head over to Tianshui. But before we do, I'm gonna change out this stupid looking horse and actually show off Hyperion. Now, all we need to do is go over to the stable and do that. I said I was gonna show off as many horses as I can, and I think I did. Yeah, I said I was gonna do that and I did. And we have more than enough time to show off most of the horses. So on that note, let's ride over to the market, and we're going to go to the stable and choose Hyperion and put Brynhilde to rest for now. You're gonna go back to the stable and let's see what Hyperion looks like. Please God, do not let this be a stupid looking horse or even dumber than Brynhilde. Please God, don't let this horse be dumber than Brynhilde. But it looks powerful enough, so let's go on ahead and call it to our side. Alright, come on Hyperion!
Nani?
What the fuck is this? This horse has ion thrusters! God damn it, Koei! Well, I'll be taking this even stupider looking horse out to the northern campaign in part 32. This is RVman985. Peace out.